Okay, good morning. Welcome to
Math Problems number 79.
Math Problems number 79. You are ready to go walk the dog, right?
Yeah.
But first we're going to do our movie about fractions. So we spent a week talking about ratios, which was pretty fun, right?
Yeah.
And we did that really cool movie yesterday about Rubik's Cubes and ratios.
Yeah.
That was pretty fun, but now we got to get back to fractions. So we're going to talk for a second about adding fractions. Do you remember what you need to do to add fractions?
I think there's some properties that there is for adding fractions.
There may have been some rules.
I think that was for multiplying fractions.
Oh, maybe it was for multiplying fractions. Do you remember what you need to do to add?
I think we need to write a number line and see. Maybe we could see where these are.
Oh, okay. Let's do that. So we have a number line, and these are both between 0 and 1,
Yeah.
right? Okay, so I'll draw it. I'll put 0 here. I'll make my 0 look like a 6 just to confuse everybody. Better?
Yeah.
1. So it's easy to do a fourth because you cut it in half and then in half. Thirds are a little harder, but I'll make it about here. That's 1/3, and then 2/3 is about here.
Yep.
Okay, so here's 1/4, 1/3. This is 2/4, which is also known as
That's 1/2.
a half, and then here's 2/3, and then 3/4. Probably shouldn't have put them so close together, and then we get to 1. So we want to add 1/4 plus 1/3.
Well, they're both under a half.
They're both under a half, so does that tell you anything about what's going to happen when you add them?
Well, maybe it's going to be bigger than a half.
Oh, it might be bigger than a half. What will it definitely be less than?
It'll definitely be less than 1.
Why is that? That's a good answer. Why is it definitely going to be less than 1?
Because you're adding fractions. And you're adding fractions.
Ah, okay. But if I added 2/3 plus 3/4, if I added this distance and this distance, so I tacked this on at the end, looks like I'd be bigger than 1, and those are fractions.
So you have this distance plus this distance is not gonna quite reach 1.
Why is that? Why can we be sure of that?
Because here's 1/4, and then here's 1/3, and then you get that on at the end.
Okay, well, let's look at the fact that they're both less than a half. What do I get when I take a half plus a half?
You get 1.
I get to 1. And because these are both less than a half,
You won't get to 1.
I won't get to 1 because I don't get to a half here. I don't quite get to a half, I don't quite get to a half, so when I add them together, I won't get to 1.
Yeah.
Okay. But I still don't, although I know it's going to be less than 1, and it's not because they're fractions, it's because they're both between 0 and a half.
Yeah.
It still doesn't help me quite figure out what the answer is when I add them together. And what's the difficulty?
Well, there are two different fractions. If we had 1/3 plus a third, that would be easier.
Yeah, 1/3 plus a third, we can get right up to 2/3.
Wait, what happens?
So when the denominator is the same, I know how to add.
What happens if we take like a number that's divisible by both 4 and 3?
Oh, for example?
So like 12.
Aha!
So, and 4 times 3 is 12. So this would be 3/12.
Ah, so 1/4 is 3/12. This is very good observation.
3/12, and 1/3 it's 4/12.
Aha!
Now we can add the 12th together, and we could get 7/12.
We get 7/12. So 1/4 plus 1/3 is the same thing as 3/12
Plus 4/12.
4/12.
That equals 7/12.
7/12. So now where is 7/12 on the number line?
Well, I think it's gonna be a bit higher than a half,
Okay, why do you think that?
because in this one 6/12 would be a half.
Aha, 6/12 is a half right here. And a 12th is a pretty small
Fraction.
fraction, right? In fact, 3 of them go into 1/4. So it's about that far.
Yeah.
We go that far over.
And that would be 7/12.
7/12. Hopefully that shows up on camera. Good job. That was great.
Yeah.
Good job. So 1/3 plus 1/4 is 7/12. That's pretty tricky to figure out without really having to think about it, right? You wouldn't really just sit around and say, wow, that must be 7/12.
Yeah.
So that's why we're going to spend a little bit of time about adding fractions, but you did a great job. All right, have fun walking the dog, hun.